Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. I hope you are all doing well and enjoying your day so far, and what a day it was last night. We have the whole LAN stuff we talked about earlier today, and then the roster chaos did begin. So many teams making changes, so much stuff going on right now, and I imagine it makes sense, right, given the Major has just finished. We've only got a few days until Stage 2 or Stage 3 does begin again on, April the 22nd, I believe it is. So teams have got to start practicing, teams have to start getting their, stuff in gear before we actually have an incredibly important stage here in terms of what it's going to look like for the champs seeding, and it's going to be unbelievably competitive, I am sure, once again, with some of the teams that were struggling making roster changes to try and level up their performance. Enjoy your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that. I believe we also hit 20 million video views on the channel within the last couple of days, 55,000 subscribers as well, so thank you guys so much for that. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, the road to 100,000 subscribers is certainly well underway right now. I would certainly really appreciate it. This is what Zuma says yesterday. I have a feeling some crazy roster changes are going down behind the scenes. He dropped an emergency flank bomb last night as well. I made a bit of a guest appearance, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the show if you did indeed tune in. This was the first thing then that got confirmed yesterday. Fire saying this has been kind of rumoured and expected for quite a while really on the Paris Legion. Officially benched by Paris. Forever grateful for the opportunity. Don't know what the future holds for me, but all I know is that I'm going to keep going. Best of luck to the guys. So Classic, Scraps, Aqua, the three men on that team, they all put on a show, put up a pretty decent performance to be honest. An early part of the season, they actually looked like a really solid squad when Fire was having decent series, and he had some occasional series where he looked very promising, and that's when Paris actually had a really good result. But when he was underperforming, and it wasn't an incredibly rare thing that would happen, then the team found themselves in a difficult spot, and if there was one change to make Fire out, someone else in did seem to make sense. He does then go on to confirm that he's actually been fully released, and he was talking on the flank yesterday the fact that he's pretty happy about this situation, because he doesn't have to worry about being tied down to a contract in terms of who he can team within the Challengers region, because there's rules in terms of how many substitute players from different teams you can have on a single Pro League team or a single Challengers team in that region. So okay, it's kind of easier for him just to be fully released and to maybe try and get his spots back into the Pro League at a future time. But I imagine it will take expansion for this to happen, because a lot of times when these rookies get their chance, they kind of get their chance for a few months. If it doesn't work out, then a lot of pros are going to be looking at you with future opportunity and saying, he got his chance and he didn't really perform. It's the same thing with Spart really last year on Los Angeles Grillers, who's certainly been looking great in the Challenger scene this season, but just because he didn't perform when he got his shot last season necessarily, people are going to suggest, okay, maybe let's try someone with more unproven talent that could be the next Simp, whereas it feels like these guys maybe had their opportunity and didn't exactly take perfect advantage of it. But very talented players for sure, so the opportunity may certainly present itself once again. Paris do then officially confirm we part ways with Fire. We thank you for being an exemplary teammate and a fierce competitor with an unmatched hunger to learn and to win. Good luck into the future. So then we get the whole Florida stuff. So the Paris stuff happened first of all, then we get the Florida stuff coming out. So we know that Slacked has been benched off this team. We know that, okay, Havoc maybe is getting trialed. We know that Decimate potentially is getting trialed, as we see right here. So Desi, Bevels, Apathy, Vivid, Silly, and a Tura in the lobby right here. So it seems like he's in the lobby with Florida and Gorillas as well. But, I'm not sure what's going on with Gorillas right now. Maybe there's some more stuff happening on that team that we can talk about in the coming days. But Decimate in a lobby with Florida. So he seems to be one of the players getting trialed with this team in place of Slacked on that squad. And also this was kind of interesting as well. So Awakening does this tweet right here with them, kind of destroying people on raids against these scrimming the London Royal Ravens. And if you look very closely at the, kill feed in the bottom left-hand corner, you will notice that Havoc was in the kill feed. So that, they were practicing with Havoc, they're practicing with a Decimate clearly, supposedly practicing with Yeez as well, because then we get onto that, what Crone talks about in just a second. And those are potential replacements for Slacked. Does that really step their team up to the next level? I'm not necessarily sure it does. And Havoc does a tweet yesterday, don't forget to drink water today. Make sure you do not. But this was one of the first tweets he'd done in a while. So I just thought it was kind of interesting timing. He spotted screaming with the team. Now he's back on Twitter in full force clearly. And this is what Crone says last night for only the first Crone bomb of the day. So Temp to Paris is then the rumor that comes out. Hydra starting for New York. We'll get into that in a second. And then Mutineers looking at Havoc, Yeez, and possibly Decimate. So the Temp to Paris stuff, very interesting to me. Of course, Temp has teamed in the past with Classic and Aqua, had some decent success with them. And this is obviously a phenomenal opportunity for Temp to be able to get, given the fact that he found himself in a tough spot, getting benched off LA Thieves. Didn't necessarily look like opportunities were going to be there on the table still in the CDL for this season, but he does get, the perfect opportunity for him here now in Paris. And honestly, I think this team is kind of scary. On the other side of things, I wanted to mention this real quick, because you've got Saints, right, who was initially linked to this Paris Legion team, and the fact that he's not on this team is somewhat interesting to see. You can certainly look at it from the perspective that, okay, New York might want to keep Saints in that academy squad so they do have extra opportunities going forwards, and maybe contract stuff is is more difficult with him. And well, Temp, I mean, has clearly been bought out from the Los Angeles Thieves, as we will look at here in just a second, as they do indeed confirm. The marksman, the chosen one, young Kyrie, welcome to the Legion at Temp, they say. So Temp is officially joining the Paris Legion. He's going to be there alongside Classic as the main SMG effectively. So you've got Classic and Temp on the SMGs. You've then got Scraps, who's going to be, I imagine, back on the kind of flex second AR position where he has had most of his success. And then, of course, you've got Aqua, who's actually been a very good main assault rifle this season. So I really think this Paris team is probably a step up. They've got some previous chemistry. I mean, yeah, Fire was certainly inconsistent on this team, and that was always the risk picking against this team in terms of pick'ems, the fact that you weren't really sure if Fire was going to, drop a 0.7 or something, and the team was going to have a difficult time to win. Temp probably doesn't have that issue, and at the same time, you've got to think like this is his, maybe his one opportunity to actually prove that he still can do it at the top level. Because you can certainly say he's been pretty much blessed with this spot, right? He gets into this position that he is right now with the Paris Legion after having a difficult time to start the season off with the Los Angeles Thieves. I mean, he was kind of lucky, I would say, to even get a spot on LA Thieves in the first place, given that Priestahh was their target, but then the whole buyout situation happens when Los Angeles Thieves got bought out, and then, Priestahh goes to the Minnesota Rokkr, of course, and now we've got Temp gets the opportunity on the Los Angeles Thieves. That team doesn't work out, he then gets released, and just a couple of weeks later, he gets the perfect opportunity with players he's teamed with in the past on the Paris Legion. So, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of drive and hunger within him to actually prove that he can do something here, because he was kind of scapegoated a bit, you could say, on the LA Thieves team. Then the team didn't actually really improve when they got rid of him. It actually only improved when they got rid of Slasher. So now he has the opportunity to prove himself from multiple angles, and I think this Paris team actually could be kind of scary and is not one you necessarily want to be facing, given that they had good results with their previous roster, and now Temp in theory should be a step up, and the chemistry stuff on top of that. You do have to wonder, okay, is Temp and Classic necessarily going to be a dominant SMG duo? Will at some point they try out Scraps back on the SMG if it doesn't necessarily work out? It's a possibility. The teams that he's had with these players in the past, like Classic, I mean, the Envy squad at the start of World War II, and Aqua as well, he's teamed with him on Echo Fox, I believe, and also Splice back in Black Ops 4. Those teams didn't necessarily have the best vibes and the best chemistry at times, so there are still some question marks around that, but I think on paper it is a step in the right direction for the Paris guys. Let's get into this New York stuff then. So Drill says Hydra starting, hoping some of his other European guys can get an opportunity right here, but it seems like that is the going rumour, that Hydra is going to be slotted into this starting lineup and they are going to give him a go. Just to mention quickly, LA Thieves do confirm then Temp is leaving the squad, and he does come out and say, look, thanks for the opportunity, great organisation, and wish all the bros the best in their future endeavours that they may well indeed have. And of course he joins the Paris Legion, as we did just look at. Then we get the second Chrome Bomb of the day. I heard about this a few hours before everything went public, but not only is Hydra joining the starting team, but they are looking for the two-man lineup change, with Sib also coming into the squad. So okay, Clace is going to stay, there's no doubt about that. Asim is going to stay, and there's no doubt about that at all. But Mac and Diamond have been the question marks really on this team. If you are going to make a change, which one do you get rid of? It's kind of tough. So maybe they're thinking, all right, let's just cut both of them, get Hydra and Sib in. So supposedly the team is going to be Clayster, Asim, Hydra, Sib, and well, that's the four-man squad that honestly has a lot of firepower on that team. I think Mac is a great player. I think Diamondcon's really shown some brilliance, to be honest, in when they've been looking good. But they were 0-6 in terms of map count at the final major, or the last major that we just had. You've got to think at that point that a change has to be made, and this is the one that they decide to go down the route of. It does seem, nothing confirmed as of at least recording this video, but you would imagine that something would happen on this front within a couple of days. As Crone says as well, Sib x Hydra seems to be on the team. So much talent now on this lineup. But I do think, I mean, from the Clayster perspective, it is kind of interesting, because he talked about it in an interview quite a while ago, right at the start of the season, the fact that he was kind of struggling, like, carrying the load of bringing up Mac, Diamondcon, Asim, these guys on the team, carrying the load of getting them into speed, up to speed, and you're certainly going to have to do that in spades really here with Sib and Hydra on the team. There are some questions about personality. Will it clash? Are they, is he a difficult character? Is he a pretty abrasive character to deal with Sib? That is a question mark. At the same time, you've got to look at the Atlanta FaZe side and say, okay, well, apparently they're going to be getting rid of their substitute. They're working on some arrangements with the New York subliners, of course, to get Sib bought out of whatever contract's going on over there. But then FaZe also have to have a substitute come in as well, right? They only have one sub right now, that being Sib. They've got to figure out something on their team to get another substitute into their lineup in place of Sib. So this is all rumours. Nothing potentially might happen here. But the Hydra thing, I think, is very likely. New York didn't perform with the last major. Something had to change. Hydra coming in seems like the perfect opportunity to give him a go, and making the two-man swap might be the way to do it, with some incredible talent here on the team. And if Clayster can get the best out of these guys, I think they honestly do become a championship contender right here, even though Mac and Diamondcon certainly did have their moment. So very interesting. If it does indeed get confirmed, we'll talk about it tomorrow, I'm sure. Subliners Academy scrims, Hydra is nowhere to be seen, which certainly indicates, right, that he might be, well, having a trial out with that starting lineup. Seems like the changes here are being made thick and fast. And then we get the other side of things. We get the Wester daily roster announcement, it seems at this point. Fire joining the team, and as Parasite says, reunited with my son, excited to get to work and show the scene how great he can be under the right guidance and environment. We are back, first stop Elite qualifier on Saturday. And just to finish off the video, I wanted to talk about this, right? So, okay, stage 3 is just going to be insane. Not only have we got new champions, we got Toronto, now they're the top dogs, right? They won the major last time round. Are they the best team in the game? Maybe you could still say that FaZe are. I mean, that FaZe, of course, come number 1, number 2, but Toronto have played phenomenally on that championship Sunday. Then you've got a Seattle squad, which is seeming much better. They had they were pretty unlucky, to be honest, not to place much better. I think they did at the major. They had a great chance, if they didn't get reverse swept by the Minnesota Rokkr, to actually come out into the winner's bracket right there. They had a pretty tough bracket as well that they had to face up against OpTic Chicago. They had to win that series, of course, down in the loser's bracket at the major. And then you've got LA Thieves looking an awful lot better as of late. On top of that, the three of the teams that were underperforming in New York, who had a rough major, Florida Mutineers and Paris, they're all looking to make changes that may well improve their team. And then on the other side of things, you've still got FaZe, OpTic, Dallas and Rokkr, which are very scary teams. They aren't going anywhere. And the two teams I didn't mention here, of course, LAG and London Royal Ravens, that still have great upset potential on their day. And well, maybe they'll make some changes as well if things continue to underperform for them. So the groups are going to be insane here. As I said earlier today, I believe the groups will probably be announced on Friday, and then we can really get into exactly the chaos I'm sure that's going to be with all these new rosters coming up into stage 3. But I'll keep you guys posted on all the developments. Intrigued to hear your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm. I know you enjoyed this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well, and I've grown the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care, and I will see you next time.